we are at the New Hampshire International Speedway for the 8th race of Season 3 of the SCRL Rainbow Dash Truck Series. The one truck of Gusto Aracho will be leading us to the green flag. Starting beside him is the 66 of Zaptos Amoritos. Points leader Brian Fox will be starting way back in the 32nd position. And as you can see on your screen, we got all the full-time and part-time drivers here I'm about to say this evening, but I guess depending on when you're watching it, this evening. So, as I said before in the last race at I-70 Speedway, the next 9 races will have both full-time and part-time drivers. This is the second time in series history that we are racing at the New Hampshire International Speedway. In Season 2, which was the debut of this race, Caleb Croach won that race. So that was Caleb's first and so far only career SCRL sanctioned win. And as I mentioned before during the I-70 Speedway race, you have a couple more races. If you signed up for this series and you have not been commenting in the races and posting and all that stuff, I will kick you out by the 13th race at Louisville. And I have gone back and I've checked, people who signed up and their names. And if I don't see your name in the comment section of these races, bye-bye. You will be kicked out, your points will be stripped from you, and your truck will be given to someone else. So this is a loud warning to everybody. But here is the command for the 8th race of Season 3.
Drivers, start your engines!
I really hate kicking people out, but those are the rules. You have to comment on the races. You sign up, you comment on the races, just like with any other league on YouTube. The rules are very simple. You don't spoil who win races or championships, and you comment on the races for the league you sign up for. So just because we're just starting out, well, we're not just starting out, this channel is basically new compared to other people who do it, but, the rules are still the same thing. You have to follow them. So the one truck of Gusto Arachoa driving a brand new paint scheme, the Band-Aid sponsored Ford that Michael Waltrip drove in 1997, will lead us to the green. Starting beside him, of course, is the 66 Ford of Zaptos Amoritos. So pull them belts tight. We are racing 20 laps here at New Hampshire. Pace truck will pull in. There he goes. And there's the green flag. Gusto Arachoa puts the hammer down. We are racing for the second time in series history at New Hampshire. Off into turn number 1. Gusto goes a little bit wide. Here comes the 8. Mia Saldu. Down the backstretch. Here comes the 8. And, she just barely makes a little contact with the 1. Into turn 3, into turn 4. Who will lead that first lap? It'll be the 1 truck. Of course, we do not award points for laps led. It'll just be added to his career total in the truck series. As the 8 takes the race lead. Mia Saldu. And she will take the lead in turn number 3. But the 1 is fighting back on the outside. And I believe we got a caution. Yes, we do. The 04, I believe, was involved. We got another wreck. The 26. The 88. We got a flip. Carter Friesian has wrecked. So we got multiple crashes. Alright, this is going to be a fun replay. The 8 truck of Mia Saldu is our race leader. We'll take a look at the first caution of the day. So there are 3 incidences we're going to look at, but this is the original cause of the caution. Brian Fox in number 9, racing with the 98, Jason Larker, makes the slightest contact. And there goes Jason Larker. The 34 truck, Al Lagacy, a part-timer, gets some damage as Larker smacks the outside wall right there. Everybody keeps on going. So it's a 1 truck spin in turn 1 that originally brought out the caution. As you see, the caution lights go on the truck. Pace truck. But we are not done yet. as is the MO for this game. We have some trucks having some problems, if I can find it. Where's it at? There it is. The 01 truck of Marco Gippes racing with the 16 and the 21. Looks like there's contact between the 21 and the 16, and the 01 gets sent up the track. 21 hard into the outside wall, and the 01 almost flips over. So, bam! That's what happened to the 18 truck, Kekawatline. She is destroyed. Her truck, not a good day for the 18. Now, we are still not done, so we're at 2 out of 3 on the incidences. So let's see what happens. I believe it was the 26 truck of Derek Edison, a part-timer. Not that it matters, it's just mentioning. Let's see. Oh, the 4 makes contact. Right there. The 13 and the 28, and then the 26 gets hit. Then the 94 got some damage. That spins out Derek Edison, who backs it into the inside wall. And, of course, we saw what happened to Carter Friesian. Contact between the 76, and here comes the 2, Jay Jefferson. Bam! And flips over the 88 of Carter Friesian. And then we got more trucks stacking in. The 16, the 21, the 9, our points leader, the 34, the 10, the 42, the 75, the 24. Yeah. And that was the third and final incident. So we should all be caught up now. Well, this is going to take a while to clean up. The red flag is out here at New Hampshire. And once we get this cleaned back up, we'll go back to yellow. And then we'll go back to racing as soon as we get this cleaned up. And we are back. The 65 truck of, let me see who is that. I should know this. Gatlin Downey just broke a gearbox, so he is out. The 42, the 01, and the 18 are all out of the race due to accident damage. And the 88, of Carter Friesian, the guy who flipped, he is 1 lap down, amazingly. Mia Saldu is our race leader. Second is Gusto Arachoa. Third, Truttle. Fourth, Marcus Sanchi. Fifth, Steve Larker. Sixth, Tim Randolph. Seventh, Keith Stevens. Eighth, Zaptos Amarinos. Ninth, Mohammed Zain Abdullah. And 10th is Joe Jefferson. Pace truck pulls in. There he goes. And we're going to get the green and restart this race with 14 laps to go. See how competitive that 88 truck is despite flipping over. And, oh, not very competitive. There he goes. Getting out of the way of the leaders. That's a good move. Carter knows this race is not for him anymore. He's just riding around trying to get some points. Not what you want to be, a ride around. As Mia Saldu continues to hold the race lead, but she goes wide. Here comes the 1. The 1 wants his lead back. Remember, he led us to the green earlier, and we got a caution. 28, the 31, the 16, the 34, the 98. So we are under caution, but we are racing it back. At least half the field is. So Gusto Arachoa will be our race leader when we get this race restarted with less than 10 laps to go. As Mia Saldu goes way wide. Yet, oh, we got another wreck. The 88 again and the 19. Oh, that was close. Oh, look out. All right, we're good. And we are under caution again for the second time here at New Hampshire. The 1 truck, Gusto Arachoa, is our race leader. We'll take a look at the second caution of the day. So here's the cause of caution. The 28 truck, Richard Torres, racing with the 94, Jimmy Potter, and the number 6 of Alexander Rowe. Contact between the 6 and the 28. And the 6 goes into the wall. The 28 spins out right in front of the 26. As you see, the 04 back there spins out. 26 got damage. And here comes the 12, Riley Spurley tube. Nowhere to go. Bam. Then the 34 got damaged, and the 10. Then the 31. Then the 98. Then the 17, and the 16, and the 21. And that's what brought out the caution. We have a multi-truck incident on the front stretch. But we are not done yet, because we had another little incident. Let's see, the lap truck of Carter Friesian just trying to stay out of the way out of everybody. He flipped earlier. Let's see what happens. '19 gets a run. Oh, there's contact between the 20 and the 88 and the 19, and the 19 is going to hit the wall hard. Wow. That was a big hit by Joe Jefferson. Scored his first win of the season in the last race, and the next race, he gets taken out in a crash. Well, I wouldn't say taken out, but this is not going to help his chances of a win back-to-back. Riding along board with the 19. You see the caution lights are out. And he gets contacted and then nails the concrete wall. Hard impact. So Jay Jefferson's shot of winning back-to-back races, in all intents and purposes, is done unless everybody else wrecks in front of him. Well, that's the cause of the caution, as well as what happened in turn 4. We'll clean this mess up and we'll take you back to the restart. And we are back. The 12 of Riley Spurley Tube, the 34 of Al Legacy, and the 28 of Richard Torres are all out of the race. We have 33 trucks still in this race. One is a lap down. Gusto Arachoa is our race leader. Second is Mia Saldu. Third, Marcus Sanchi. Fourth, Chuttle. Fifth, Tim Randolph. Sixth, Muhammad Zain Abdullah. Seventh, Zaptos Amaritos. Eighth, Keith Stevens. Ninth, Steve Larker. And 10th is Max Anderson. Every driver in the top 5 has never won a Truck Series race, so we will have a first-time winner no matter what happens as of right now. Pace truck pulls in. 8 laps to go. Gusto Arachoa is gone. No passing before you get your line. Marcus Sanchi wants to go now. And he timed it perfectly. And he's going to make the pass for a second. Marcus Sanchi was so close to becoming the Season 2 champion, but oh, look out. Oh, he got taken out in a wreck. Not of his doing. Here comes the 7 of Treadle, the all-time race winner, but has never won a Truck Series race. Ooh, this is close. This is getting tight. This is going to allow the 1 to pull away. 7 laps to go here at New Hampshire. They're still battling for second. That's going to allow the 1 to pull away even more. Sanchi goes way wide, trying to get a run to clear the 7. And does. As the 7 goes high, I don't know why you'd want to go high, but he goes high. So we'll see if Sanchi has enough time to close in on the 1 truck. As Shuttle almost scraped the wall right there. Tim Randolph trying to have a run. No caution yet. So Gusto Arachoa is our race leader. Second is Tim Randolph. Second is Marcus Sanchi. Third is Muhammad Zain Abdullah. Fourth is Zaptos Amaritos. And fifth is Tim Randolph as he's making the 3 wide pass. Be 5 laps to go. Mia Saldu just scraped the wall right there. You saw that little sparks. Marcus Sanchi, 0.06 of a second away from Gusto Arachoa. Still, the first 5 drivers in this race has never won a Truck Series race. So history will be made. The question is, who will write that history? The 1 truck started on the pole, lost the lead briefly, and has reclaimed it. 4 laps to go. If a caution comes out, we will go green, white, checkered. That is something the 1 does not want to see. As Marcus Sanchi cuts in a full 100th of a second that lap. Tim Randolph up to 4th. Not for long. Here comes Muhammad Zain Abdullah. Oh, we got a wreck. Oh, wow. So that will lead us to a green, white, checkered. Whoa, we got another wreck. Points leader Brian Fox. You see Jimmy Potter, the 77. What the heck just happened? Oh my God. Well, because of that, we will have a green-white checkered. Let's take a look and see what caused all that chaos. So here's originally what caused the caution. The number 94 of Jimmy Potter running in the top 15, racing with the 77 of Diego Yepes. And there's contact between the 77 and 94, spinning both drivers out hard into the outside wall. And then they come back across the track in front of the 80 truck. Greg Lee, nowhere to go. The 04 got damage. The 75. The number 9, Brian Fox, got damage right there. The 98. The 34. Excuse me, the 31. The 16. The 21. The 88. And here comes the 19 barreling down the track and is able to stop. Wow. So we have a big incident on the backstretch, but we are not done yet, as the 17 and the 04 also get damage. Here is the big thing. Muhammad Zain Abdullah trying to go for a top 5 finish. Gets around Steve Larker, but Larker makes the slightest contact with his fender right there, and Tim Randolph gets taken out as Abdullah head on into the wall. Hard impact. Man. That was a brutal hit by Muhammad Zain Abdullah. He got flat out taken out, and Tim Randolph, he was involved in the caution that wasn't even his fault. Just riding around in the top 5. Since this race is going to end under caution, but of course we do have a green light checker, we're going to take a multiple looks at this. Muhammad Zain Abdullah going for a top 5. Gets taken out. Hits the wall at 105 miles an hour head on. Man. Hopefully that driver is alright, because that was a hard head-on hit into the concrete wall. Take another look at this. Go on the roof of Steve Larker. Makes the slightest contact right there with the fender. And goodbye. Bam! Man. All 3 of those hits were hard. And of course we got to take a look at Tim Randolph. It's not going to be much of a view since he was on the high side. But we'll take a look anyway. Riding around in the top 5. Minded in his own business. And then gone. And he pancakes the wall pretty hard too. So our top, 3 drivers that was in the top 5 took each other out, head in to the caution. Well, unfortunately, this will in fact end the race, but like I said before, we do have up to 3 attempts at a green, white, checkered. And first we got to take you to your results, and then we'll take you to green, white, checkered attempt number 1. So here are your race results. Gusto Ochoa will be your race leader when we go green, white, checkered. From Gusto Ochoa all the way down to Diego Yepes, they will race in the green, white, checkered, as well as Jason Larker, because he is the first truck 1 lap down. So we will have a 24-truck race in the green, white, checkered. So from Carter Friesian, 25th, all the way down to 18 Cacahuat Lion, where you see yourself on the screen, that's where you will finish in this race. I'll give you a little second to take a look at it. And without any further ado, we will take you to green, white, checkered attempt number 1 right now. It is time to find out to see who will win here at New Hampshire. Because there was a caution of less than 2 laps to go in the regular scheduled distance, we're going green, white, checkered attempt number 1. We will have up to 3 attempts at a green, white, checker. All the drivers who finished the regulation under the green flag and those on the lead lap will race in this race, as well as the first driver 1 lap down. That was the 98 of Steve Larker. So we got 24 drivers battling 2 laps to see who will win. If at any point during the green to the white a caution comes out, we will go green, white, checkered attempt number 2. So Gusto Ochoa will lead them to the green. There's the pace truck pulling in. Green, white, checkered attempt number 1 here in New Hampshire. Gusto Ochoa puts the hammer down as we head off towards turn number 1. He goes a little bit wide. Contact with the 43. Marcus Cinci goes way high. Oh, 3 wide for second. Oh, contact. Yep. The caution did come out. Yep, there it is. So we will go green, white, checkered attempt number 2. All these drivers, they have to complete this field under power. So, oop, 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 oop. They saved it. So, looks like we'll have a full 24 truck field in the green, white, checkered attempt number 2. Gusto Ochoa is our race leader. Let's take a look at the caution. This happened all the way back in turn number 2 when Gusto Ochoa went up high and made contact with Marcus Sanchi, and this will set up green, white, checker tip number 2 because of what happens. Marcus Sanchi tries to get back in line, but the 86 and Max Anderson is right underneath him. Now, they're not going to let him back in. It's green, white, checker time. They got to go. And there's contact, and then there's more contact, and then the 66 makes contact, and then the 43 goes into the wall. 66 spins out. Mia Saudu got damaged. The 3 got a slimy piece of damage. And the 66 spins around and is able to keep going. So really, we just had a truck spin, but we did have another incident in the back. As you see the 21 spinning around, that's the Eli Bright truck. These drivers trying to slow down, but Joe Jefferson does not. And he takes out the 21. Plain and simple. That's the only way I can describe that, because that is the truth. He took him out. So, what's this mean? It's going to give us green, white, checkered attempt number 2, which we will take you to after your results. So here are your results. As you see on the screen, everybody did in fact cross the line. So we will have a full 24 truck green, white, checkered attempt number 2, which we will take you to right now. Because we had a caution during the first green, white, checkered, we are here at green, white, checkered attempt number 2. So 24 drivers will compete once again 2 laps to see who will win here in New Hampshire. If at any point during the green to the white we have another caution, we will go green, white, checkered attempt number 3, which I believe has been only done one time in league history. That was in season 2 at Watkins Glen, where Kevin McHugh won that race. So we are green, white, checkered attempt number 2. Gusto Ochoa is just saying, please guys, don't wreck. Pace truck pulls in, pull them belts tight. We are racing 2 laps. Green, white, checkered attempt number 2. Gusto Ochoa puts the hammer down. We are racing. And overtime is what NASCAR would call it now, but we do not call it overtime. We call it green, white, checkered. Into turn 1, and they're going 3 wide already. Not good, not good, not good. Oh, hard impact. Is the caution out? Yes, it is. Yep, green, white, checkered attempt number 3 is coming your way. Now remember, all these drivers, they have to complete the final lap if they want to compete. And the green, white, checkered. Oh, this ain't good, this ain't good, this ain't good. Oh, contact. We got another wreck. It's a mini wreck. So remember, these drivers, they have to finish green, white, checker to compete in green, white, checker attempt number 3. So that means overtime. Why say overtime again? We'll take a look at your caution. So just like before in green, white, checker attempt number 1, drivers going 3 wide into turn number 1 will never work. 43, Marcus Sanchi, trying to rebound after wrecking out in the first green, white, checker, makes contact with the 7 of Chuttle, sends the 7 up the track into the 86. 43. And hard impact by Marcus Sanchi into the wall. The 7 spins out. And it is enough to trigger the caution lights and send us into green, white, checker number 3. So Marcus Sanchi, I think he needs to stay away from green, white, checkers because this is the second one he's been wrecked in. And he's going to go head on into the wall right there. Hard impact. So his 43 Dodge is destroyed. Hopefully he can just drive around under caution and complete the green, white, checkered. Otherwise, he won't be able to compete for it. Now, we also had another little incident on the front stretch, which we'll show you. It's not that important, but we'll show you anyway. I believe there's contact between the 26 and the 66. Yep, there it is. The slightest contact sends the 26 Derek Edison around. Jay Jefferson got damage. 76 Shane Carnelli got by. The 16 got by. The 10 does not, gets damage right there. The 80 Greg Lee got damaged. The 77, the 21, The 86, Max Anderson, got damage again. And we have a little incident on the front stretch after the caution had already come out. Well, because of all this, we will take you to green-white checkered attempt number 3, but first, your results. So this is it, ladies and gentlemen, or at least in this case, in this series, every pony, this is it. This is the third and final green-white checkered we are going to do. If at any point a caution comes out, the race will be over. So this is our last attempt. Going by truck rules back in 1997, they only had 3 attempts at a green-white checkered, and if a caution came out, that will be it. So we got 23 drivers in this green-white checker number 3. I'm sorry if you didn't see any results after the green-white checker number 2 because Brandy Cam decided to mess up, but it doesn't matter because Marcus Sanchi was knocked out during that green-white checkered. So this is it. Last green-white checkered. And green flag is back out. Green-white checker attempt number 3. This is only the second time in series history we are doing green-white checker number 3. Kevin McHugh won the first. And to turn 1 and to turn 2, battling for second. Down the back stretch, still green. Still green. Still green. Battle for second. Simon Oskin trying to fight against Mia Saldu. And to turn 3 and 4. White flag, 1 lap to go. This race is official. Can Gusto Ochoa hang on? As they're still battling for second, this is helping him big time. Down the back stretch for the final time. Into turn 3. Looks like he's going to do it. Into turn 4. It took 3 green-white checkers, but Gusto Ochoa will finally get his first Truck Series win. He will win here in New Hampshire. And you see the caution lights, but that's all right. The race is already over. So here are your race results. Gusto Ochoa hangs on through all 3 green-white checkered finishes and scores his first Truck Series win. Second is Mia Saldu. Third is Simon Oskin. Fourth, Simon Fox. Fifth, James Stabilito. Sixth, Tim Randolph. Seventh, Keith Stevens. Eighth, Alexander Rowe. Ninth, Yang Carnelli. And 10th was Evan Rudd. As you see the rest of the race results, just before we go to the point standings, I'll be sure to read off all of the race results so everybody can see where they finished. But before we do that, we will take you to victory lane for the very first time here in the Truck Series with the number 1 of Gusto Ochoa. Because of all the green-white checkers, I'm pretty sure a lot of people were confused where they finished, so I'll go ahead and read it off now just in case for those of you who didn't watch the whole race, which you should have. It was a great race, I think. So Gusto Ochoa, of course, won. Second was Mia Saldu. Third, Simon Oskin. Fourth, Simon Fox. Fifth, James Stabilito. Sixth, Tim Randolph. Seventh, Keith Stevens. Eighth, Alexander Rowe. Ninth, Yang Carnelli. And 10th was Evan Rudd. 11th was Jason Larker. 12th, Bafu Saktu. 13th, Greg Lee. 14th, Zapdos Amaritos. 15th, Eli Bright. 16th, Derek Edison. 17th, Joe Jefferson. 18th, Treadle. 19th, Macaron Asdu. And 20th was Diego Yepes. 21st was Max Anderson. 22nd, Jeff Bright. 23rd, Jay Jefferson, the last truck on the lead lap. So from here on down, they were technically out, or didn't compete in the green-white checkered. Marcus Sanchi was the first car out, well, truck, because of his accident in the second green-white checkered. 25th, Carter Friesian. 26th, Sebastian Torres. 27th, Steve Larker. 28th, Jimmy Potter. 29th, Muhammad Zain Abdullah. And 30th was Maria Valvarez. 31st, Joshua Rush. 32nd, Brian Fox. 33rd, Zachary Fitzwater. 34th, Richard Torres. 35th, Al Agassi. 36th, Riley Spurley-Tube. 37th, Gatlin Downey, the only truck out of the race due to a mechanical problem, a broken gearbox. 38th, Gustavan Oldenburg. 39th, Marcos Yepes. And last was the 18 of Cackle Whiteline. So that is your race results for New Hampshire. We will now take you to your point standings. Here are the point standings after the 8th race of the season at New Hampshire. We have a brand new points leader. Tim Randolph has a 1-point lead over Brian Fox. Third is Alexander Rowe, 37 points behind. Fourth is Bafu Sapdu, 93 points behind. And fifth is Mia Saudu, 97 points behind. Sixth is Max Anderson. Seventh, Zachary Fitzwater. Eighth, Carter Friesian. Ninth, Simon Fox. And 10th was Richard Torres. 11th is Joe Jefferson. 12th, Maria Alvarez. 13th, Gusto Arachoa, who won at New Hampshire, gained 10 spots because of his race win. 14th, Diego Yepes. 15th, Marcos Yepes. 16th, Macaron Astu. 17th, Muhammad Zain Abdullah. 18th, Sebastian Torres. 19th, Steve Larker. And 20th is Jane Carnelli. 21st, Marcus Sanchi. 22nd, James Stabilito. 23rd, Samit Oskin. 24th, Greg Lee. 25th, Zaptos Amaridos. 26th, Jay Jefferson. 27th, Gustavin Oldenburg. 28th, Shuttle. 29th, Keith Stevens. And 30th is Jason Larker. 31st, Kaka White Lion. 32nd, Eli Bright. 33rd, Evan Rudd. 34th, Jeff Bright. 35th, Al Lagacy. 36th, Derek Edison. 37th, Riley Spurleytube. 38th, Jimmy Potter. 39th, Gatlin Downey. And 40th is Joshua Rush. And now for our Rookie of the Year Championship point standings. Marco Yepes has a 4-point lead once again over Carter Friesian. So the Rookie of the Year as well as the Drivers' Championship is still up for grabs. And that is it for the 8th race of the season at New Hampshire. We will next see you at the 9th race of the season as we go under the lights at the Texas Motor Speedway for the first time in series history. And until then, keep the hammer down and we'll see you at the track.